And third session, Dr. E. Ram Ganesh, and fourth one, Dr. K. Karnagaran. I hope all these 4 sessions are going to be very useful. The participants, you can share your own expectation and your own feedback after completion of all the sessions. So in this juncture, let me welcome Dr. A. Hasim, Corporate Manager, MES Aided Colleges, Calicut, and the former Registrar of Calicut University. Very excellent administrator, and he is a well-known person to know all the recent issues of the higher education as well as the new education policy. And he is going to contribute, and he also had a chance of visiting nearly more than 100 universities and colleges all over India. So such a rich, very high potential person, one who contribute for this. Definitely the approach towards the national higher education quality framework is going to be very beneficial to all the participants. So I had a chance of working with him to visit 1 or 2 colleges and all over India. So let me welcome and thank Dr. Hasim for this session, and I welcome all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Day 2, Session 1 is on Global Initiatives of Higher Education Quality Framework. I request Dr. G. Maheshwari, Professor and Head, Department of Physics, to introduce and welcome the resource person of the Session 1, Dr. K. A. Hasim, Corporate Manager, MES Aided Colleges, Calicut, Kerala.
Good morning, everybody. It makes me feel so privileged to introduce this scholarly gathering for the resource person, Dr. K. A. Hasim, Corporate Manager, MES Aided College, Kerala. Sir did his PhD from University of Kerala and published 12 research articles and organized and attended 21 national and international seminars and symposia. Sir has got 25 years of teaching graduate and postgraduate students in aided affiliated colleges under Calicut and Mahatma Gandhi University. Sir started his career as lecturer in the Department of Zoology and he elevated as HOD and then principal and served in various colleges: MES Mabad College, Malappuram; MES Asmabi College, Kodungalur; MES Ponnani College; MES Nedungadam College; TKM College of Arts and Science, Kollam. He is also the former Registrar of University of Kerala, Director of State Council of Educational Research and Training, Government of Kerala, NCTE member, Bangalore. So we unanimously proclaim his presence in our midst as our honor. Thank you and welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for introducing such a eminent personality to us. Quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort. I invite Dr. K. A. Hasan, Corporate Manager, MES Aided Colleges, Calicut, Kerala, to educate us on global initiatives of National Higher Education Quality Framework. Session is over to you, sir.
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Submit your mic, sir.
Is it now okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, sir,
now.
You're audible, sir.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, do you like us to present the PPT, sir? If you'd like, kindly share your PPT to us.
No, I will do. That is enough. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will do. Okay. Then may I start, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I extend my gratitude to all of the organizers of this seminar, virtual seminar, on behalf of Kaveri College for Women, Autonomous. It is a reputed college, and we know that so many times I met with the various personalities of this college when I was the registrar of the university. And they are doing, I know, Kaveri College of Women Center, their authorities are doing so many things for the quality education in the national quality education. So I congratulate all of you. Then also the authorities, especially my friend Dada, for inviting me to this virtual seminar, and also giving me an opportunity to present a subject here. That subject is, you know, that it is a advanced subject. What are the global initiatives for our higher education quality framework? That is my subject. You know that
Sir,
national.
sorry for interrupting, sir. So your face is not completely visible. Could you please adjust your laptop or camera so that we'll be able to view you completely, sir?
Okay, now is it okay?
A little. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Then my subject I have already said, global initiatives of national higher education quality framework. Then what are the initiatives? What are the contributions of other uh, countries for the betterment of the higher education quality framework? That is the subject here. It is a very novel subject, and we can go through one after another. The first thing is, now the education is not there. The international students, Australia, UK, US, Canada, so many students are there from various countries. That international students and that universities are considering education not mere information and knowledge, but it is also a commodity. That means it is a product or a raw material subject to ready exchange in the educational market. That is the definition they are giving. Along with all the things, along with information, knowledge, everything, it is also considered as a commodity or a product or a raw material subject to ready exchange in educational markets. Then so many pull factors are there in various countries or existing there to receive the students. The pull factors to students for the receiving countries, that is one is the quality education. Definitely, as far as a country is concerned, the quality of education is very important for attracting the students. Then living conditions there in the country and the labor market demand, that is the job market demand in the country, and the political trends and political situation in the country. These are the pull factors which attract the students in the receiving countries. That there they are all seeing, along with information, along with knowledge, along with getting qualifications, they are considering this also a very valuable commodity, valuable product or raw material subject to ready exchange in the educational markets. Then policy trends in higher education. The trends are students' mobility and enrollment. That should be there. Technology in teaching and learning. Emphasis on research and innovation. Then, you know, the National Education Policy 2020. It is aims are giving it for the 21st century requirements. It is given for the 20 NEP is in an aim. It is introduced to give 21st century requirements. Quality higher education must aim to develop good, thoughtful, well-rounded, and creative individuals. That is the aim, another aim of the NEP. Then quality higher education must enable personal accomplishment and enlightenment, constructive public engagement, and productive contribution to the society. That is another aim. Must prepare students for more meaningful and satisfying life and work roles and enables economic independence. That is the aim, the NEP, the importance of the NEP 220. That is, these are the various points I have to present before you. Then about the educational qualifications, so many collaborations, so many cooperation. India has so many cooperations with the different international organizations for the educational betterment and higher education qualifications. They are, the first and foremost is UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. That is UNESCO, you know that well. Then the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization aim to promote world peace and security through international cooperation of education, art, science, and culture. That is UNESCO. They are doing so many things in the field of education. Then Commonwealth learning. It is the people through learning that leads to economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental conservations. That is about the Commonwealth learning. Then about the E9. E9 is a combination or coordination in the field of education by 9 countries. They are the Bangladesh, Brazil, China, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Mexico, Nigeria, and Pakistan. These are the E9 countries. They have a cooperation and a coordination for the betterment of the higher education area. Then another is the here in E9 countries. The thing is that by these 9 countries, the total population comes about 50% of the world. The world's 50% comes under this cooperation, under this coordination, and under these 9 countries. Out of this 50% of population, here the illiterate ratio is very high. That is about 70%. This is very important. Indian countries are very important. They are bettering the higher education in the world. Definitely, they are doing so much things. Then about the BRICS, that is 5 countries. That is, it is a coordination of 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Then about the SAARC, South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. That is also 8 countries are there: Sri Lanka, then Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan. Then another cooperation of educational cooperation are listed below. That is India, Brazil, South Africa. That is IBSA, India, Brazil, South African Coordination, East Asia Summit, Association Southeast Asian Nations, Indian Ocean of Rim Association for Regional Cooperation, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, then European Union. These are the list of so many educational coordination and cooperation that is now existing in the world. Then higher education is the globalization. You know that globalization, we are very familiar with the word globalization. Everything is transferring from one country to another country without any restrictions. That also very important for the betterment of the higher education, and it has having a major impact on higher education. Along with all the materials and matter and goods and services, money, etc., information and ideas are also transferring across the national borders. It is a major impact in higher education. Then internationalization of higher education. Process of integrating, and it is a process. Internationalization is a process for integrating international and intercultural dimension into teaching, research, and service functions of the institution. It is an integrating process of an international intercultural dimension into the integration into teaching, in the field of teaching, research, service functions of the institution. Then the next is internationalization, means it is an integrating an international, intellectual, intercultural, and global dimension into the purpose of functions or delivery of higher education. That is another thing. These are all integrating processes. Internationalization means, higher education means, these are all integrating processes. And it is also essential that it will be embraced by the institutional leadership, governance, faculty, students, and all academic services and support units. Then about the awards and about our qualifications and degree, diploma, etc. These are qualifications are the formal awards. Then these awards are the main part of the end of the course, end of a program. Awards, certificates, and diploma and degree. It is awarded by, that we all know that it is by a competent authority, by university or such any other college. Then recognition in recognition of the attainment of students in an expected learning outcomes. It is all giving after an expected learning outcomes or the successful completion of particular programs of study. Then awarded after an assessment and evaluation of learning levels conducted by a competent body that determines the achievement by the students of the expected learning outcomes to given standard. Can also be signify the competence to follow occupational practice. These are the qualifications, and we know that everything we know that it is a mere information only. The National Qualification Framework, then it is an instrument for the classification of qualifications according to a set of criteria for specified levels of learning achieved, which would integrate and coordinate the qualifications from each education and training sector into a single comprehensive qualification framework. That is National Qualification Framework. It is an instrument for classification of qualifications according to a set of criteria that is specified in the level of learning. That is the National Qualification Framework. Then the same is described like this. Qualification framework provides a systematic description of the full range of qualifications in an educational and training system. Qualifications need to be described in such a way as to help stakeholders understand the relationship between qualification and the knowledge, skills, values, and attitude that are expected to be acquired and demonstrated by an individual. That is very important. Qualifications need to be described in such a way as to help stakeholders understand the relationship between qualification and knowledge, skills, values, and attitude, etc. Qualification framework is also intended to explain how different qualifications relate to each other. That is also, it comes in this framework, how these qualifications are related to each other. Then identification pathway within and across education and training sector for vertical and horizontal mobility. That is about the qualification framework. Then National Qualification Framework helps to improve the transparency of individual qualification through a defined learning outcomes. We know that. Enhance the understanding of the education and training system. Then promote credit accumulation and transfer within and between programs of study. Provide an instrument of accountability of the education and the training system. Then make education and training system more demand focused and user friendly. Then reduce the mismatch between education and the labor market. Facilitate the recognition of prior learning. That also a common information. Then outcome-based approach to education. Then one of the factors that contributed to the initiative of the development of National Qualification Framework is the evolution of outcome-based approach to education and training, introduced in 1980s and 1990s in some of the countries. What are the products that is obtained from it? What are the outcome that is we are getting from it? That is outcome-based or product-based approach to education. Then the national quality framework in these countries were in response to the demand by the employees for greater participation in skill formation and to shape the content of education and training programs. This resulted in a shift from provider, that is very important, this resulted in a shift from provider-defined curricula and qualification to user-defined qualifications and curricula. Then the movement to develop National Qualification Framework gained momentum in the late 1990s with initiative in several countries. And several countries are very much interested to get the outcomes, very interested to get the what are the products, etc. That is a very important part in the betterment of the higher education system. Then another process is there in order to assess the qualifications, higher education qualifications. It is the Bologna process. This process is a series of meetings and agreements between European countries. It is only in we can see only in European countries to ensure comparability in the standards and quality of higher education qualifications. That is Bologna process. It is the periodical meetings, a process of series of meetings and agreements between European countries to ensure or to see the standards of the quality of higher education qualifications. Then the process has been created in European higher education area under Lipson Recognition Convention, that is LRC, that is called shortly it is called LRC. Here, this convention, this LRC, this meeting ensure the holders of a qualification from a signatory of one country have adequate access to the qualification of the another country. That is the importance of this Bologna process. Then the qualifications of the different countries they are assessing, they are comparing, and they are saying that this degree is equal to the degree of this area. Then this for that so many meetings and agreements are going on, and after that this Libson Recognition Convention give a not we can say certificate, they are recognizing this Lisbon Convention, recognize various countries of the European area for that. All the qualifications of the different countries and the European countries are acceptable, and that can be easily interchangeable. Then Bologna process or other factor also, the national qualifications different from country to country with the minor modification that directly affect programs of study. These are the various impacts, but maintaining a broad structure of overarching framework among the international efforts, the Bologna process is the most elaborate, involving more countries than anywhere else. Bologna process is an overarching framework under the European higher education area for developing national qualification framework in European Union countries. These are all restricted to European countries only. Then a parallel development relating to national qualification framework has been the efforts aimed at formulating regional qualification framework in many regions of the world also. This is very important thing, as well as this process is very important because it is, even though it is restricted to the European countries, then in the higher education area of the Europe, but it is an acceptable things, and it is accepted by many of the countries other than these European countries. Then these are the major elements, main elements that are being discussed in the meeting of Bologna. Then importance of qualification framework and European higher education area. That we have, I think I have gone through that. However, we can say once again, qualification framework more important instrument in achieving comparability and transparency within the European higher education area, facilitating the movement of learners within as well as between higher education systems. That shows the importance of this Lisbon Recognition Convention. Through series of meetings in Bologna process, they are studying all the things and they are assessing through this Lisbon Recognition Convention. Then should also help higher education institution to develop modules and study programs based on learning outcomes and credits, and improve recognition of qualification as well as all forms of prior learning. Then another thing is qualification framework should be designed so as to encourage greater mobility of students and teachers to improve employability. These are all some of the aspects of the Bologna process and also qualification framework of this and European higher education area. Then the European credit transfer and accumulation system, another thing, it is also in Europe. That is about 1 academic year corresponds to 60 European credit transfer and accumulation system. That is equivalent to 1,500 and 1,800 hours of study in all countries, irrespective of standards and qualification type, and is used to facilitate transfer and progression throughout the Union. That is another initiative of European countries. It is the European credit and transfer and accumulation system, and it is after that the ECTS. Along with that, you can see a DS user guide. DS is another thing, diploma supplement label. Then this diploma certificate label is a recognition of their efforts to make international education more accessible. So they are giving this label is very important. This European quality label as a recognition of their efforts to make international education more accessible. And in DS users, 65 higher education institutions of 16 different countries are given this diploma supplement label. The National Higher Education Qualification Framework, that we know that improving the recognition of prior learning, including non-formal and formal learning, creating more flexible student-centered modes of delivery, widening access to higher education. National qualification framework are important tool in supporting lifelong learning. Lifelong learning implies that qualification may be obtained through flexible learning paths, including part-time studies as well as work-based routes. Then research and innovations. Then these are also in European, most of the modifications and most of the initiatives are from European countries. That is why always European universities, these are the key stakeholders in the European research area, research and innovation. Then university industry research collaboration and good practices in doctoral program, university industry that we have also started in our various universities of India also, university industry, college industry, inter-college and industry related and other various firms. We have so many collaborations that also we have seen in various parts of the India. Then universities' contributions to grant challenge research and technology initiatives. Universities' contribution to grant challenge research and technology initiatives, career development and mobility for young researchers in the European research area. Then sustainable university-based research, the need of the greater external research funding conditions, etc. These are the research innovations, the things related to research and innovations. The European qualification framework developed to compare and correlate and establish the diverse qualification systems of European countries. You know that I referred so many things, but so many modifications, so many betterment and activities in the higher education area is here in the European countries. Then facilitate the translation of or comparison of qualification levels so that there is no difficulty in the identification of skills, inter-country comparison and mobility of learners and workers between the countries. This is European qualification framework. Do that. Through the European qualification framework, we can see they are facilitating the translation of comparison of qualification or comparison of qualification level. That is, I have the diploma, supplement level, etc. I have mentioned. So that there is no difficulty in identification of skills, inter-country comparison, and mobility of learners and workers between the countries. Then another one of the things is about the important element that is the qualification descriptors called doubling descriptors. One of the important element of the it is the doubling descriptors are general statement about the learning outcomes. This is nothing more than that. These are the general statements about the learning outcomes that are achieved by the students after completing the curriculum. That is the doubling descriptors. They are neither meant to be prescriptive rules, nor they represent benchmark or minimal requirements since they are not comprehensive. The descriptors are conceived to describe the overall nature of qualification. These are the doubling descriptors. These doubling descriptors these are general statement about the learning outcomes that are achieved by the students after completing curriculum of studies and obtaining qualification. Then these are the 5 elements for doubling descriptors. There should be knowledge and understanding, applying that knowledge and understanding, making judgments, communication skill, everything is there. It is for it is not for that. It is a statement about the learning outcomes after completion of the curriculum. Then qualifications that signify completion of bachelor's degree as per the learning outcomes that are aligned to the doubling descriptors are awarded to students who have demonstrated knowledge and understanding in the field of study that build upon their general secondary education and typically at a level that supported by advanced textbooks include some aspects that will be informed by knowledge of the forefront of their field study, can apply their knowledge and understanding in a manner that indicates a professional approach to their work or vocation and have competence typically demonstrated through devising and sustaining arguments and solving problems within their field of study, have ability to gather and interpret relevant data to inform judgments that include reflection on relevant social, scientific, and ethical issues, can communicate information, ideas, problems, and solutions to both specialist and non-specialist audience. Then have developed this, the awarded the students who have developed those learning skills that are necessary for them to continue to undertake further study with a high degree of autonomy. The qualification signifies of master's degree. The students' qualification that signify completion of master's degree qualifications have students have demonstrated knowledge and understanding that is founded upon the extent or enhance that physically associated with the first cycle, and that provides a basis or opportunity for originally in developing or applying ideas often within a research context, can apply their knowledge and understanding and the problem solving abilities to new or unfamiliar environments with a broader contexts related to their field of study. Then the students have the ability to integrate knowledge and handle complexity and formulate judgments with incomplete or limited information, but that include reflecting on social and ethical responsibilities linked to the applications of their knowledge and judgments. And students can also communicate these master's or qualifications that signify completion of the master's degree of degree for the students who can communicate their conclusion and the knowledge and rational underpinning these to specialists and non-specialist audience clearly and unambiguously. Then the next is the students who have learning skills to allow them to continue to study in a manner that may be largely self-directed and autonomous. That's about qualification that signifies completion of the master's degree. Then next is the Washington Accord. Washington Accord is this accord is only for the engineering students and engineering degree programs. It included about 6 countries in 1989, represent the international agreement among the bodies responsible for accrediting undergraduate engineering degree programs. Then it recognizes the substantial equivalency of programs accredited by those bodies and recommends that graduation of programs accredited by any of the signatory bodies or the recognized by other bodies and as having met the academic requirements for entry to the practice of engineering in the area of these are all related to engineering area only. The Washington Accord facilitates the mobility of engineering graduates and professionals at international level. As of now, there are 21 nations which are members of this accord. India became permanent member on 30th June 2014. On completion of 6 years, the status of National Board of Accreditation (NBA), we know that as a permanent signatory to Washington Accord, was extended for next 6 years in June 2020 after a detailed review of the international by an international review team appointed by the International Engineering Alliance and the Secretariat of the Washington Accord. The membership of the Washington Accord is an international recognition of the quality of undergraduate engineering education offered by a member country and is an avenue to bring it into the world-class category. Then it encourages and facilitates the mobility of engineering graduates and professionals at international level. Then NBA accredited programs offered by the Tier 1 institutions are eligible for the recognition of programs by the signatories of the Washington Accord. They are all recognized by the various countries that are coming as the members of this Washington Accord. Then qualification that signifies completion of doctoral degree, that signifies that the students who have demonstrated a systemic understanding in the field of study and mastery of the skills and methods of research associated with that field students have demonstrated the ability to conceive, design, implement, and adapt substantial process of research with scholarly integrity. Students have made contribution through original research that extended the frontier of knowledge by developing substantial body of work, some of which merits national or international referred publications. Students are capable of critical analysis, evaluation, and synthesis of new and complex ideas. And also, students can communicate with their peers and largely scholarly community and with the society in general about their areas of expertise. Then can be expected to be able to promote within the academic and professional context technological, social, cultural advancement in a knowledge-based society. Then so many educational exchange programs and MOUs of India. India has entered into so many educational exchange and programs. Now, I think that India can be expected to be able to promote within the academic and professional context,
in the higher
technological,
area,
social, cultural advancement in a
the education
knowledge-based society.
is now
Then so many
going on
educational exchange programs and MOUs of India.
Now we are
India has entered into so many educational exchange and programs.
Back any of the
Now I think that can be expected to be able to promote within the academic and professional context, technological, social, cultural advancement in a knowledge-based society.
is now
Then so many
going on
educational exchange programs and MOUs of India. India has entered into so many educational exchange and programs.
Back any of the
Now I think that can be expected to be able to promote within the academic and professional context, technological, social, cultural advancement in a knowledge-based society.
is now
Then so many
going on
educational exchange programs and MOUs of India. India has entered into so many educational exchange and programs.
Back any of the
Now I think that can be expected to be able to promote within the academic and professional context, technology.
linkages. These are the importance now India has made for bettering our higher education area. Then another thing I have to say about now, by the last year, 2022, July, India has a collaboration with UK. They have signed an agreement between UK. India signed an agreement with UK is a part of program of deepening UK collaboration with other global superpowers on innovation and research to help tackle share global challenges. Then we have entered into an agreement with India entered into an agreement with UK with all other global superpowers in the field of innovation and research. And you know that this partnership or this collaboration or this agreement between India and UK will grow the sectors, companies, and jobs of tomorrow for the benefit of both the nations and the globe. And these are some of the basic information that I have collected about the higher education area, about the higher education qualifications, and some of the initiatives of the other countries in the higher education field. Thus, you know that I am going to stop here. Then I know that it is deep information. However, I tried my level best to give you some of the normal information that is happening in the world and the initiatives of the other countries that is doing so many things. And that has been basically I have presented some of the things. It is not deep, but some basic information I have given to this seminar. However, it will help you. I have no idea. However, some you will get something for going on forward. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us on the topic educational cooperations, internationalization of higher education, national qualifications framework, outcome-based approach to education, the Bologna process, research and innovation, a Dublin description, research and innovation in with Washington Accord, and educational exchange programs and MOUs. Thank you so much for enlightening on all these topics, sir. And participants, if you have any queries, please put forward.
Okay.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can either unmute your mic and ask, or else you can put it on the chat box so that the queries will be clarified. Participants, make use of the opportunity and get your doubts cleared.
Otherwise, send in chat area. That's all. Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
For
sir.
your, I also extend my gratitude for inviting me an international, a national seminar from your college and from your college authorities. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
It's a pleasure from our end being you amongst us, sir. Dr. P. Urmila, Professor and Head, PG, Department of English, is amongst us to propose formal vote of thanks.
Good morning, all. Respected Dr. K.A. Hashim, Corporate Manager, Muslim Educational Society Aided Colleges, Calicut, Kerala. On behalf of our institution, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for your invaluable contribution as a resource person on the topic Global Initiative of National Higher Educational Quality Framework. Your expertise and insights have truly enriched our understanding on this area. Your comprehensive knowledge and eloquent presentation captivated the audience. Your ability to engage the participants that encouraged them to interact, which created a conducive learning atmosphere. The well-structured content and the clarity of your presentation gave us an easy access to the complex concepts. Thank you, sir. I thank all the members and the crew behind the screen who have made this session an enlightened one. Once again, I thank each one of you for your patient listening. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The resource person for the next session will arrive shortly, and the next session is on the topic Academic Credit Framework within National Higher Education Quality Framework. So I request all the participants to wait till the resource person for the next session arrives. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you're audible, sir.
Is there any feedback for this session, ma'am?
No, sir. Feedback link will be shared only at the end of the session, sir.
Next session,
End of the fourth session, sir.
Okay,
We have
ma'am.
four
Thank you.
sessions
Thank you
today,
very
and
much.
the feedback link will be shared only after the completion of 4 sessions.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your patience. Uh, the next session, the session two will start shortly, and the chief guest resource person for the session two is Dr. R. Arthur James, Director, IQAC NIRF Coordinator, Professor and Head, Department of Marine Science, Bardhasan University, Tiruchirappalli. He'll arrive soon and will be starting the session two sharp by 11 o'clock. I request all the participants to wait patiently. Thank you for your patience. We'll soon start the session.
இருக்கட்டும் நான் முடிச்சுட்டு குடிச்சுக்கிறேன்டா. ஜேபி மேம் நான் இதை எடுத்துக்கோங்க.
Kaveri College Women is happy to welcome the resource person of session 2, Dr. R. Art James, Director, IQAC NIRF Coordinator, Professor and Head, Department of Marine Science, Bharathasan University, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. Welcome, sir. And I really thank all the participants for your patience. The day two, session 2 is on the topic Academic Credit Framework within National Higher Education Quality Framework. I invite Dr. R. Rameshwari, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Biotechnology, to introduce and welcome the resource person. Ma'am, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Arthur James, Professor and Head, Department of Marine Science, Bharathasan University, Trichy. Sir is having 20 years of teaching experience and 32 years of research experience. Sir is holding many administrative responsibilities in Bharathasan University like NIRF Coordinator, Coordinator for BDU, AIU Research. BDU AIU Research Convention, 1 month committee expert for Distance Education Center recognition. To his credit, Sir has 1,800 citation, Hutch Index 24 and I-10 Index 36. He has guided 4 postdoctoral students, 51 PhD students, 10 MPhil students, and 51 postgraduate students. Sir has completed 6 research projects worth of rupees 1 crore 70 lakhs from various funding agencies like UGC, DST, and DPT, and one ongoing project from National Center for Coastal Research with the amount of rupees 60 lakhs. In recognition of his contributions, Sir has awarded the Young Scientist Award from Department of Science and Technology, Young Investigator Award from Department of Biotechnology, Best Student Project Award from Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, Visiting Scientist Department of Green Life Science, Sangmyang University, South Korea. He is an Associate Editor in Frontiers Marine Science Journal and Academic Editor in PLAS One. Sir is having membership in many professional bodies like Society of Biogeochemistry, New Delhi, and Ozone Society of India. Sir has over 81 publications in journals of repute in which he acted as a corresponding author and 33 more publication as a co-author. During the last 20 years, he has brought out two books published by Elsevier, an international publishing house. With this brief introduction, I invite Dr. Arthur James to take over the session, sir.
என்னுடைய வீடியோ வேற ஆஃப் ஆனேன். இப்போ பேசட்டா? ஓகே. Very good morning, one and all. Thank you very much for the Kaveri College authorities, the principal and the NAC conference coordinators, Professor Jayabharati and other colleagues. Very good morning, my dear participants. Whether is it I am audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Okay, whether is it visible now, the PPTs?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible, sir.
Is it moving?
Yes, sir, it's moving, sir.
Okay, then we can start the show. So, my dear teaching fraternity, very good morning, one and all. So, today we are going to just discuss about the important topic, academic credit framework in higher education. Academic credit framework. Okay, so these are all the new upcoming names in the form of new education policy NEP after 2020. So why this all is introduced in higher education system? Let us discuss first one by one. Why this NEP? What is this important aspects and how one can get more benefit from this scheme in education sector? Okay. Let us discuss first this new ventures. So which is going to coming up in the India. For example, for the past 20 years, lot of changes in the higher education sector. So all the changes, normally the changes means that is for the benefit of the community. So that is the main agenda, that is the main objective. Okay. So any changes should be in the form of positive approach and usefulness, and it is the beneficial for the society. So once it is a beneficial for the society, then only the next generations can be guided properly. So that is the main aim and objective of this new approach. In that, the higher education sector, the academic credit framework, that is in the form of seamless of the various education subject and knowledge, etc. One students can attain in his young age. Once if he gets more knowledge with the education sector, then the career will be no doubt for his entire life. So that is the main idea for the NEP as well as this new approach for the academic credit and framework in all in higher education system. So that is what now I could understand. Now I could share some of my experience in the form of various aspects for you. Okay. Before starting for this in more detailed way, now what is education, what is higher education, what is new education, what is academic, all these credits and how, why it is important. Let us see one by one. Okay. So what is education? Education is the key element for gaining knowledge. Once a person gains knowledge, he knows more things. If he knows or she knows more things, definitely the guiding property and the know-how techniques and the easy for the life survival. So that is the main form of education, to knowing the knowledge. Once if you know the knowledge, you know everything and it is easy for handling in different situations and sustainability. You could learn how to sustain, how to overcome with various our societal environmental issues, because all the human beings are born to live and live happily. So that is why mainly we are learning the techniques in the form of education. According to the changing environmental setup, we have to also change our approach. Okay, so that is the fundamental understanding of what is education for the ongoing changes. Okay, before going this in more detail, like academic credit, now we have understood what is education. Then this education, when it is started, so that is the main point, because when our civilization started during 2000 years back, it was recorded during Mohenjo-daro and Harappa historical places. From that time onwards, our knowing techniques, the educations means the various tools they have, people have approached, they have applied. Okay, we may think we are now very highly sophisticated and seventh sense people, but our ancestors, they have got more experienced educations, because first they have got experience. From that experience, they learn some of the things and some of the tools, and from that they have educated. That is a form of practical experienced education. Okay, that is what our ancestor had. Similarly, this education, as per our record, we had Nalanda and Taxila in which was there in our ancient India. Okay, now modern India, we have more than 1,000 universities, more than 5,000 colleges. Just I am roughly telling, but ancient time itself, our education system was established in a better way. So that is what I want to share, not only in India, all over the world, especially the uh, it was recorded. First, it was in the established during 1008, around 1,000 years back. Italy, University of Bologna. So similarly, they have learned at the time science, astronomy, philosophy, physics, and sculptures, scripts. Okay, so this is the things ancient our ancestor, through experience they have learned, because at the time astronomy was the new things and it was very fascinated, because it was the guiding mechanism for the entire humankind, because that is what astronomy they have established by their own experience, because still we are not able to come up with those techniques, because those nowadays we have developed through remote sensing techniques, but still we are not having that much knowledge what our ancestor had through astronomy. Okay, so this is just for the information, and we can discuss, I will discuss why we are lacking comparing to our ancestral knowledge. Okay, and similarly, university also, it was established even the Southeast Asia, East Asia, Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, and Turkey, etc. So this was the historical approach for our educational system for the entire universal human kind on global scale. Okay. And in India, in University of Mysore was established during 1916, and Osmania University also they have established. These are some of the record we had. So it shows all people, the entire societal approach, they were seamlessly, what we can say, they have searched for the knowledge. Okay. Not only today, from the historical point, they have searched more knowledge because of to lead the society in a better way. Okay. In the history, we could understand several kingdoms and their evidences and their establishment, and that is still it is available in the form of monuments, which we are even still today fail to understand. So that is the main point. And now this modern educations and new education policy in the form of refinement is going towards attaining more practical knowledge like what our ancestor had. Okay, that is the main idea. We have to get and gain knowledge to lead our society in more better way. So that is the idea. Because as I told you, our ancestor education system was gained from a practical knowledge. But now we are more technically advanced techniques and the various tools were available, but still the learning mechanism, the understanding mechanism without practical knowledge, it is lacking. Okay. So that is why we are just again regaining the knowledge, researching the knowledge from the practical point of view through from our ancestors' record. Okay. That is the thing. First, you have to understand as a faculty, because you are all going to guide and lead the students in a better positive way. Okay. So that is the main funda of the education of the new approach. For that, now our UGC and AICT and all our governing body, they have come out with a new framework that is for the education from the school to the higher education college level. Okay. Through 1 to 8 credits. For the college aspect from 4.5 to 8, it is various models they have introduced and for the changes for the better benefits of the students and the society. Okay. And this academic credit framework, because why again some people maybe understand what is credit, what is academic, like that. See, we have, for example, undergraduate program for higher education, postgraduate program. As per the postgraduate program, now we have minimum 90 credits. Okay. Minimum 90 credits. And as a faculty, you all know, in a daily hours, weekly hours, and semester hours, the total hours for the entire semester and the total credits and the points, how one student for the paper is now at present is handling and he is gaining, and it is consolidated marks finally when the student is getting a course, undergraduate as well as postgraduate, he is securing the mark with a form of credits and the total contact hours. So that is a existing form. Now, to improve the knowledge in the form of practical experience, the NEP approach, they have introduced vertical as well as horizontal approach to gain more papers in parallelly. One students can gain the knowledge while enrolling in one degree program. Similarly, parallelly, he can approach through various online programs, and he can register and enroll and getting his or her diploma courses for better benefit of his career. So that is the idea. For that, even now we have introduced the parallel and the vertical credits, how and why it is introduced, and now how it is going to help the students. So that is the main idea of this talk. Okay. And for example, here you can see I will share the PPT after this presentation so that you can gain the knowledge. So don't worry about the things. I will share it. Okay. For example, as I told you, why for this better benefit of the students for the career as well as gaining the knowledge. That is the main idea. So the credit system. So once if you are sure about the gaining the knowledge, we should have a tool benchmark whether the student is getting or gaining the knowledge real qualitatively and quantitatively. Okay, because our idea is the getting the credits in the new form to enhance the knowledge. Okay, so that is our idea. Now the government has introduced in a latest way in, and still it is not 100% implemented because it is in the trial and error. Now it is going on for the better benefit. Now we should, and the faculty, we should first understand the various criterias, the framework. Okay, that is the idea. Once the idea is to gain more knowledge for the students, now as a faculty, first we should understand that fact first. Then only we can able to guide the students in a proper way. Okay. So before understanding for that, we should have a knowledge about the 100% achievement of this goal. So how one can achieve this 100%? First, understanding the basic things. First, understanding qualitatively as well as quantitatively the idea. Any approach for a new introducing mechanism has to be validated in the form of quality way. Okay. Then only our target, our end product will be in the beneficial form 100% success way. Okay. For that, just I will go one by one. What is quality control? How it is going to work our academic framework criteria. So that is the main idea. I would like to share some of my experience. So quality means people will think neat and clean is quality. It is not the matter of neat and clean doing the things. Quality means that is the framed, approved, as standard protocol of any mechanism when it was introduced. When it is introduced, any new things, it has to be passed through quality check. For example, whenever you are going to buy a new items, any commodity in the market, you first see whether it is a QC approved product, hallmark, lot of BIS, standard zeal is available. Okay, so that is what we used to think and see. Literally, any new items whenever you are buying ordinary item in a supermarket. Okay, that is the any commodity because they normally it is validated because we are spending our money. And for that we should get a good product. That is the idea for the quality check we are doing. Similarly, here education system, because it is very, very important comparing to all sectors. When we introduce a new criteria, new framework, first, qualitatively, whether it is approved, whether it is passed. So, as a teaching faculty, you should understand the mechanism of quality of this new product. Okay. So, for that, I am just explaining what is quality, how can we define what is, how can we measure, and how can we manage in qualitatively as well as quantitatively. Okay. Then only we can have whether it is morally, aesthetically, and mentally is it good or bad. Because we are having the higher education knowledge in the form of it is a virtue. Okay. This is essentially very, very important for the entire humankind as well as for the society. Once the education system is guided properly in a better way, then definitely, no doubt, the entire future generations and the society will be living happily without any doubt. So that is the main idea. For that, we are just defining what is quality for this new approach. So quality is the assessment in the form of results generated by anything in the product. Okay. So the quality assessment is quality assessment as well as quality control. Anything, if you define how we can assess in the form of quality assessment and how we can control in the form of quality. If it is wrong, we have to control. Okay. So that is the main criteria for quality control assessment. Okay. Now, for example, India, we have developed a lot of hallmark, all other frameworks. For example, I am just explaining you in a simple way in the like a product based one. Then, if you understand quality, then you can also implement the same approach for our credit framework, whether it is validated, whether it is introduced 100%, whether this will be success for the future, like that you can assess. Okay. So for that, I'm just explaining you in a simple way how we can define quality, how we can assess quality, and we can control the quality. Okay. For example, now we are just introducing a new credit framework. For that, just like that, without understanding, just something is introduced. This has to add, this has to remove, and this has to be repeated, and this has to follow in the practical, like that we are thinking. Before that, if you understand any mechanism or any product or any new assignment, we should have a thumb rule of a standard protocol. What is what? For example, if you are a simple way, I'm just explaining. If you are launching a product, okay, if you want to pass qualitatively, first you should have these 12 criteria. What is required? You should have the specification. For example, it is given here. What is, you should know the requirement and the specifications, and you should know the design development, how it is going to work, and you should know the procurement capacity. And for that, you have to plan the process, develop the process, and you should have the idea of the production, how it is going to help, how it is going to speed up your requirements, and you have to in between test whether it is going to correct or not. And you should have a packaging and storage facilities. See, this is just I'm just explaining for a product. Similarly, we can have a comparison for the framework, and you should have the sales market value, and for attaining that, you should install an operation procedure, and for the development, you should also have a technical assistance for the maintenance purpose, And finally, you should also have the disposal package. Then if you establish everything, then your market is very, very successful. Okay. So this much approach is available if you want to introduce any small thing item in a first simple, for example, 1 rupee shampoo. 1 rupee shampoo daily we are using. For that, a successful story of a big man, he explained me in the same way like what now you are showing here. When the shampoo, 1 rupee shampoo was not introduced earlier, maybe 20 years back, it was very tough time. So the success story of that shampoo, I don't want to tell the names, but now everywhere people were using all product in a simple way, in a handy way. For that, they have worked out this approach qualitatively. Then only the product will be success. Okay. Similarly, if you understand this design and this approach, whatever we are now facing and introducing and talking about this new criteria for the academic framework, we should also have this aspect qualitatively. Okay. And any activity, whether then only we can rate whether it is good or bad. Because always when you introduce any things in newly, if you approach qualitatively and assess quantitatively, then only you can say just like that whether the product is good or bad. Just like sentimentally, we should not say any product good or bad by seeing. But in our society, most of the time, we are doing all aspect like that. Sentimentally, we are attached. Sentimentally, we are just saying just like that. They told, he told, she told it is bad. Like that, we are spreading the message. So that is wrong. We are approached through various media. Now, WhatsApp is the biggest media. Without understanding the mechanism, simply we are rating good or bad. So, as an educationist, you have to have a knowledge to rate your product, to rate your new item qualitatively as well as quantitatively. Then only you can guide, you can rate whether it is good or bad. Okay. So, that is a protocol. So, that is why quality control is very, 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 very important for any mechanism. Now, for the new academic framework also, you should have the idea. Okay. Here, this is the lab equipment experimental I'm just showing, but this is not necessary to see. But the idea is you should have the quality check, whether is it true, whether this is accepted, true or error. This is various stages you should have knowledge on this. Okay. If it is wrong, you should find out the reason where it is wrong, why it is wrong, how it is wrong. Okay. For that, you should check the input. You should check the input. What is the curriculum? Why it is wrong? And what are all the inherent characteristics? And what are all the places it is used? What is the environmental capacity it is introduced? And what is the fundamental theory? So this is the reason for the wrong answer. Okay. So like that, the error can be randomly error like this, the showing the graph as per the middle average graph, whether it is up positive or negative, where is your product is falling, then only you should get average. Suppose if it is error, if you are by repeating, it is very in a systematically, if it is placed means you are handling the thing is correct, but it is wrong. Okay, but it is correct because your handling capacity is correct. That is what we should understand the knowledge. For example, average value, if you do the things, any things, for a quality check, you should have any experimental minimum 10 times. That is the rule. 10 to 15 times, any times you have to do, then only you can gain average value. From that average value, you can establish the graph like this. Then you can define the limitations of the acceptance and the rejection rate. Okay, for that, mathematically, lot of graphs and the slopes like linearity, R square values available. But I don't want to go now for the education framework sector this more detailed way. But I'm just remembering and recollecting the knowledge for the calibrations, for the quality, and how we can do the things in a better way. So this is some of the various points you should understand for the quality check, calibrations, and monitoring assessment and error index. Okay. So this is the, I'm just going very fast. These are some of the points which you should have knowledge for the calibration check, because calibration is one point. In between you should check the product every 50 times or 100 times in between. Then only whatever you are doing, it is correct or wrong, you can check. Okay. Another important point is precision and accuracy. Precision and accuracy, we may again think it is correct, both are correct, but again here, as per the point, it is the value is differs. The example for the accuracy here, it is given, and the Vivek, he got the point 17, 16, 18, and 15. And the another fellow, he got 15.5, 15, because he is getting within the 15, but he is getting randomly. Okay, this is some of the example. Then what is the precision? What is the accuracy? If you see here in this chart, the first one is high accuracy and high precision, because it is falling, everything is inside the graph. The second right side one is high precision and low accuracy, because it is falling outside. Similarly, here also you can just see simple mechanism: low accuracy, low precision, low accuracy and high precise, high accuracy and high precise. So this is some of the simple points you should understand any mechanism. Similarly, when we are introducing here our education system, the academic credits newly introduced. Now we are coming to the subject, why this academic credit system and how we can handle for the education sector. Okay. MHRD. So now you should have some knowledge about quality and the assessment and the error check and whether it is true value or not. Okay. Then now we can learn one by one how your academic framework, various credits, how it is going to help for the new NEP program. So that is the main idea. My dear faculty, see here, Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, and Rashtriya Ucha Shiksha Abhiyan, USA. So they have introduced a lot of investment as well as for the knowledge-oriented program, new academic credits and curriculum and the protocol. As I told you, protocol is important for the quality check. Quality stands for the protocol. So the protocol should be a standard approved protocol. So who will approve? Only the higher education, the approved people, the knowledge people can rate this is correct or wrong, like that. Okay, you and me. So we are the main role. We are the key players to handle the things in a better way. Okay. Transition semester based academic calendar. So this is some of the points they have introduced recently. And there are also, so the main idea is seamlessly learning the knowledge for the students. Why and how? Because, as I told you, practical knowledge, how we can gain in the form of more curriculum based, practical based, field oriented based, experience based, how a student can expose these all four sectors by introducing what credits he can attain or gain this knowledge for the better career opportunity. So that is the idea for the society, for the future younger generations. Now, MHRD and RUSA as well as UGC, they are just coming up for the new credit framework system for the better benefits. Here, some of the points you have to keep in mind. Update the knowledge in the education system. Always we should have the update the knowledge. So that is a fundamental key factor. How you will update your knowledge? By revising your syllabus or curricula regularly. You should not repeat old 10 years back whatever you did. You should not repeat. So sustainable development means we have to develop, we have to gain knowledge. At the same time, we should not spoil the environment. So that is the sustainable development. For that, we should have the recap of our old experience knowledge. For that, we have to revise your curriculum, and we should have more choices for free selection of the individual students, because our student community, even not only student community, any society means the diversified living organisms, especially in the that is the main fundamental key factor for the humankind as well as flora and fauna. So the diversifications means all will not be in the same. It will be divergent nature. For that, you should have different choice to choose for the particular person, so that his gaining knowledge will be 100% achieved. So that is the idea. Choice-based credit system and continuous and comprehensive evaluations. Because how you will rate? So for that, that is why as a teaching faculty, we should have the quality in your mind. Then only you should rate, you can evaluate in a successful way. And when you rate or evaluate in a good way, you can guide the society in a better way. So that is the idea. And cumulative point and new grading schemes. So because of these all aspects are essential for the new framework. Okay. And for rating the institutions NAC, you all know that is there. But for individual subject, individual paper, we are just introducing the different grades and the credits framework. Okay. As per the NEP, the credits now, for example, I told you UG and PG program, we have a standard credits. For example, PG, it is a 90 credits. That is the old. But as per the new approach, 90 should be there. At the same time, he or she can get more credits, even 94, 92, 96, above 90. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, so credits, how we can gain by whatever now we are doing. Same thing, classroom learning hours, teaching hours. Here, extra is lab work, innovation labs, and the projects you can give, and yearly or half yearly assessment in the form of test or quiz. These are all the things we are following, but one by one, I am just explain you what are the new credits we can adapt or allow in your curricula. Okay. And for example, experimental learning, here only it is important because this is a practical approach. I told you we have a diversified community. Diversity is a natural because that is the by nature's gift. We have diversified in all aspects. For that, you should use what is your interest. For example, in the practical knowledge, some students will like arts, some students may like music, some students may like handicrafts, some students may like elocution and essay writing. Some students may want to be a athlete. Okay. And some students may want to perform a music, etc. That is arts. All aspects you just introduce, include, and you can frame your additional credits and for the better benefit of the new NEP and the society. So that is the idea. Here, various sectors are there for the learning because when we learn, this is not only theory by reading the book or multimedia. You should have adopt this kind of things in a parallel, horizontal and vertical way, any direction. Okay. So that is why sports, games, physical activity, yoga, life skill learning, social community work, NCC, NSS, and cleaning activities, field visits, vocational and education training, skilling like project work, and industry oriented internship program. Okay, this is various credits while learning the students can earn. And internship, that is for the mainly in the final year semester or final year, we can guide them job oriented internship. Okay. And online and digital learning, self-study also very much important home assignment because self-study, each students will have their own interest. For that, you should motivate them. So this is some of the credits earning or creditizations while learning. Okay. As I told you from the beginning, UG program, PG program. For example, here for the UG program, total learning hours is 1200, and similarly, bachelor's in the for the bachelor program minimum years is 3 years. Now we have introduced integrated program. Okay. Now we have introduced integrated program. For that also flexibility. Integrated means 5 years after 10+2 when he joined or she joined in the school or colleges. When the student is completing 3 years while joining integrated 5 years program, you can award a bachelor degree after 3 years. Then if he is interested to continue again further more 2 years, then PG degree also can be awarded. If it is not able to continue, then we can award bachelor degree. Okay, so that is the idea. So this is more flexibility in the credit level. Okay, for example, PG means same thing, total. That is a PG diploma and multiple entry, because now as per the NEP, we encourage the students to avail more fees because we are now in the web-based world because we are born, the kids are, this younger generation, we are exposed with multimedia facilities, all our kids are exposed with all YouTube, etc. Okay, they are better. They are better than us. Okay, to encourage them in a better way. For example, when you study at any program, parallel, vertical as well as horizontally, online program, diploma or any paper, one individual paper, they can relate it to their main degree program, they can pass and earn the credit and add the credit to the degree program. For adding the degree program, we should facilitate the curriculum in such a way the students can, at least in the batch, the UG degree, minimum 2 or 3 programs can be added in the form of credits to relate the topic of the main subject. So that is also important, related because that is the idea of NEP. So this can be achieved parallelly. Okay. And here again you can see how one can integrate in different level and how we can accumulate the credit for our degree program. For that, we have to frame the syllabus, the curricula, and in such a way the students can learn, earn, and credit and deposit. So that way we have to facilitate. And choice-based credits UGC has given like this, because these are all you know. And I just want to emphasize some of the points, because these are all, I will give you the notes, emphasize some of the points now in a what we can say function of the undergraduate, any program, any degree program, and your college or your university. Now everything is as per the NEP. This kind of refinement. I told you the quality, the rating. The rating is if you are rated number 1 category or A category, then your market value will be very high. Then only the students can establish their career in a better way. That is what a learning system guiding us. For a better function of the institutions, now we are introduced these different gradings for the credit system. These are all why and how and why we should introduce. Because the rating for example, now after 2016, they have introduced institutional ranking framework in India to attract the students or make in a better functioning of the institutions. We have worked out some of the ranking criteria. Then only once if your institution is in a better functioning and by the rating of ranking, then naturally in a society they have got a good name, then naturally they are attracted by the students. And simply now the main criteria here, what I have explained, the credit earning framework, once if you are adopted this kind of approach, then only you can, your institute and your curriculum, for example, in your course will be rated in Indian level as well as world level. So that is the idea. Okay. So credit framework is not just like that. This is the important tool for the mechanism of rating your institutions, rating your degree. So that is important. Okay, because this is a new approach. As a teaching faculty, first you should understand the mechanism, and then if you understand the mechanism, you will adapt, follow the things, then naturally your degree and your institute will be rated in the top. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, so for that, NIRF you all know, NIRF you all know, now they are every year the number of participating institutes are very increasing trend. Okay, participating institutes are all over the India in various sectors. It is all increasing trend. Why? Because we all know, understood the process. Okay, the educational process. For that, there are some criteria. I don't want to explain in more detailed way because this is something it is important, because I want to just emphasize whatever now this academic framework, how it is going to help your credit learning system for this ranking criteria. So that way I am just interpreting my idea how it is going to help your ranking mechanism. Okay. So teaching learning resources, as I told you, with various credits, we can introduce, incorporate, and accumulate your credit in the new forms so that it can be recorded in the mark statement of the students. And when the students going out with with colorful degree, the career opportunity is very better way. Okay, one, how it is achieved? By rating your degree as well as your institute. By and introducing this new approach, definitely you will gain a more mark, the rating. Okay, so TLR, as per the things you can introduce, and research potential. So that is what I told you. When the students are exposed, when the students are exposed, internship program in one semester, in one paper, or any contact hours. If it is a UG program, we cannot expose them more. But if it is a PG program, you can define your curriculum, your curricula in a way, one semester, final semester, or one paper can be given for the entire dissertation or internship work, so that he can learn practically. Definitely, whatever the student is learning, you can convert as a guiding teacher in the form of paper, research paper. Okay, findings. Whatever that findings, you can just publish. That is a research. Very easy. No need to worry. No need to put more effort individually, because this is the grouping mechanism. This is a not individual approach. Okay, so this is a always more strength oriented approach. So definitely the outcome will be very, very high. So naturally your research input will be increased of your subject, your institute. Naturally you can support your institute for some points for the ranking. Okay. Similarly, everybody cannot attain a patent, but any one of one or two of your institute can motivate the students, because patent means it is not a big invention. Just the idea is important, because small things, small idea will help to overcome the solution for the biggest problem. Okay, that is the idea. So that is, small idea can be listed as a patent. Once if you are comfort with that, then you can go for the financial outcome So that automatically your market value will be high. And if you implement all these things in your curricula, your student strength will be automatically increased day by day. And if it is increasing day by day, the motivation will be increased. The career will be always sure. Then the outcome for the career, outcome for the job, outcome for the higher studies will be always naturally without any problem. The numbers will be credited or benefited for your institute. So that is the idea. Once if you are approached, if you are attained, or if you are established your criteria in this aspect, the diversification of your learning community will come automatically. Students will come not only with gender basis, with diversity means with other places all over the India, all over the world you can attract. Because now learning is the tool, everything is because we are interconnected with the satellite approach. So within any small place, you can attract entire world. Why not India? Why not your own state? Then if you adopt this thing, or naturally your peer perception will be automatically popular. Your peer perception will be automatically more popular. Once if you are more popular, your rating will be always definitely very, very high. So no problem, because this all will be taken not within a 1 day, not within 1 year. If you are planning with a small minute program now, you can think, you can think, you can plan, you can design, you can implement slowly in one program, one paper, one subject. Like that, if you do, small things matter. Small drops make a big ocean. Okay, so that is the idea. So your perception will be increased. So your rating will be very high. Similarly, we can also motivate cross enrollment ratio, because NEP, as per the NEP, diversified enrollment. That is why, because for the deprived community and societally backward people, we can encourage them to enroll, okay, and enhance their knowledge, whatever they are having their basic knowledge. If you encourage them, the outcome based education will be very, very high. Okay, that is why. So this is, I don't want to more go with more. This is apart from our topic. Simple, as I told you, example I want to share you for the credit earnings framework. Whatever I told you now, the quality check, how you will check whatever you are implementing, you just make a note. For example, you just simply introducing a 5 paper or new topic, and you can just make a note of it, make a trial and error, make a enrollment ratio, encourage the students, and make a chart. Okay, definitely there is a positive as well as negative effect will be there. Positive as well as negative effect will be there. That is naturally. Always positive will not be there. Because as I told you, we are diversified setup. That is not we. That is a nature's gift. Then you just as a qualitative check, you just compare the effect. You can correlate the effect like this. Then you can definitely frame where this cluster, where these sectors are falling, for what reason. Once if you are framed, definitely you can find out the reason. If you find out the reason, you can find out the solution. So that is the idea. Okay. So without understanding the basic concept of the quality or the outcome based education, just like that, you cannot criticize. You just use as a teaching faculty, you should have this idea. You should have the pros and cons of the effect. And if you classify the problem, if you classify the merits, definitely you can win the race. So that is the idea. So that is why here two sectors are classified in the correlations. This is some of the example. Then you can hear like this. You can rate which sector, which factor. If you rate, if you classify the problem, if you classify even the merit, if you classify the ranking, if you classify the merits in a better way, then it is easy to implementation part. Once if you easy to implementation part, your rating, your success story will be 100% achieved. Okay, that is the main criteria for new introducing NEP with the credit earning framework for the academic curriculum. Once if you, for that, qualitative approach is there, analyzing capacity is needed, how you will gain what I have explained. In that way, you can explain, you can gain the knowledge. As a once the teaching communities gain the knowledge, definitely the students community will be guided properly. Once the student community is guided properly, your society is having without any problem. Because by nature's gift itself, we have got the diversified community, the diversified occurrence. For that, as a clever, educated, intelligent approach, we can always classify and adopt and overcome the problem so that we can develop and guide for a better benefit of the future society. So that is why, my dear teaching community, I just explained you in a simple way how this all going to help. Once if you establish all this thing, writing paper is not a problem. Writing paper is not the problem. Now people may think it is a big headache, it is a big problem like that. But only thing is, if you understand the problem in a simple way, in a basic way, in a quality oriented way, and if you classify your error and if you nullify it, then automatically your research potential, your knowledge gaining will be 100%. Then whatever we are now framing this NEP for the better beneficial of the student committee for the next generations, for that you should understand first. Okay, once for understanding, you have to classify, you have to adopt, you have to frame, you have to implement. Once if you do, automatically your potential will be very high. Once if your potential will be very high, you can propagate the idea in the form of paper, your findings. Okay, then automatically all ratings, all rankings, or peer perception will be beneficial for you first and your curriculum and your paper and your topic and your subject and your institute and your university and your country will be benefited. My dear students, my dear faculty friends, I hope you understand some of the points which I have discussed, classified, clarified, and explained. I hope you can understand. So, with this, I just conclude my talk about this NEP with the academic framework for the better benefit of the students' community of our future generations. Thank you very much. Now you can ask your questions if you have any doubt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session on academic credit framework. You have clarified what is academic credit framework and why and how it was framed, and about quality controls, teacher-centered approach to a more learner-centered approach, crediting on different levels, teaching, learning, and resources, research and professional practice, outreach and inclusivity, peer perception. Thank you for clearing all these topics. And participants, if you have any doubt, kindly put forward. You can get your doubts cleared. And Priyadarshini has raised her hand. Madam Priyadarshini, if you have any doubt, please unmute yourself and you can get your doubt clarified. Or else you can post the question in the chat box. Participants, if you have any queries, either post the question in the chat box or unmute yourself and you can raise the question to Sir.
James sir, this is Mohan from AIT. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
James sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you? It's most interesting
Yeah,
talk
what
from
is
your
your
side
doubt?
after a long time. I just have only one query. That's related to this. You're talking about the research. This research, maybe that when we are discussing about ourselves, maybe that when we are going for the ranking, as well as most probably that if you are going for this, the collaborations kind of things, so how they are considering from this ranking side. International levels and national levels, how they are taking and what kind of benefits institutes get. Am I clear or else I have to repeat 1 second?
Morgan, what is your question?
Sir, if you are going for this research with this collaborative, maybe that research and national level and international levels, how most of it is supporting for this the ranking side?
It is anything because our first I come from the international level. Internationally, now the latest approach is collaborative work. Internationally now, because whatever our NEP also now internationally only it is coming here. So international people are now encouraging the collaborations, even not only with the subject in contradiction subject like medicine and engineering, medicine and arts, medicine and social work, like that. So they are encouraging collaboration in the different sector, controversial sector we can say, because now they understood that kind of collaborations will be more than 100% success for the implementation part. The knowledge will be always reached to the society. So here also, as per the ranking criteria, the marks are given specifically for the collaborations, the diversified. Okay. So the collaboration with institutions, with inter and intra, both, if you have something, then definitely you will gain more mark, your ranking and your perception will be increased.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I enjoyed actually that you discussed from this origin to how it is evaluated and everything for the education side.
Thank you, sir. If anybody else has any other queries, kindly get your queries clarified. Thank you, everyone. I invite Dr. P. Amartam, Associate Professor and Head Department of Chemistry, to propose vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest, respected Principal, invited teachers, faculties of our institution, good afternoon everyone. It is indeed a special moment on behalf of our institution, IQAC. A special thanks to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Arthur James, Director, IQAC, NIRF Coordinator, Professor and Head, Department of Marine Science, Bhadidasan University, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, who gave more ideas on academic credit framework, which is to be more beneficial to the students. I thank our principal madam, who is the initiator and guide behind this wonderful national seminar. I also thank IPAC coordinator and the team members for organizing informative seminar for tracking this community, teaching community. I thank all the teaching participants and technical team for the successful completion of the program. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session, sir.
Thank you, madam. So,
I
Mohan,
thank
how
all
are
the.
you?
I thank all the participants. And the next session will resume by 1:45. I request all the participants to join the session by 1:45. The third session for the day will start by 1:45. The participants can leave the meet now and can join the session by 1:45.